Hello and good afternoon, everybody. We appreciate you joining New Holland for this afternoon's session, our final roundtable for Ag in Motion. So again, just want to say welcome to our New Holland roundtable. We, of course, are a full-line manufacturer that was born in New Holland, Pennsylvania. We were born in a small machine shop right in the town of New Holland, and we were put on the map with the first commercially successful small square baler. Our innovations have continued throughout the years with lots of other firsts. The first hay tool that combined mowing and crop conditioning and the Haybine sickle mower conditioner, for those of you that have ever operated one of those. The world's first twin rotor combine that's still a world record holder today. And one of the only full line manufacturers that has a grape harvester for the wine connoisseurs on the call that's also a world record holder for productivity. So our goal today is to engage with you and have some fun conversation. The New Holland team is joining you from our homes across North America, either from near our headquarters in Pennsylvania or near our offices and manufacturing facility in Saskatoon, Saskatchewan. Please encourage you to engage with us during the roundtable by doing one of the following. Of course, you can put questions into the live chat. It's probably the easiest way. But if you're not so bold and would like to ask any questions or make comments anonymously, you can also do that via the Q&A box that will come to the panelists. So again, encourage you to share any questions in Q&A or certainly type them into the live chat as well. So also note that as we move through the roundtable that you will be on mute. So typing questions in is the best way to interact with us. So just to make sure the chat box is working and that you're in tune for that, I wanted to start with a trivia question. I had a little bit of an ulterior motive for sharing some New Holland historical firsts with you. To put into chat, here's the first question I have for you. Does anybody know what year New Holland was founded? And I'll let you put that into the chat. So if you have a guess for what year New Holland was founded. To give you a flavor of what we're going to cover during this roundtable, it is all about history this year because we're doing our first virtual show, so a landmark here in Ag in Motion. And so the first thing that we plan to talk about is the launch of our T9 with PLM Intelligence. Second, we're going to talk about model year updates to our best-in-class seeding equipment. And then lastly, we've got experts here to talk about precision technology, which continues to evolve. As we look back at our past, we're certainly focused on the future of precision technology. And we know that many folks are using different precision technologies now. We want to talk about what's up for New Holland and how you can be more connected ever with your equipment. I'm joined by three presenters from New Holland. The first one you'll hear from is Ken Paul. Ken is our high horsepower tractor marketing manager. Next, we've got Paul Cron. Paul is the seeding and spraying marketing manager. And lastly, you'll hear from Luke Zerby, who is the Precision Land Management or PLM Precision Marketing Manager. So our expectations are to be informal. We want to certainly be informative, but again, encourage you to ask questions as we go through. We'll take pauses to do that as well. And I'm sure we'll be asking plenty more questions in the chat. And I'm coming back to my question, Carlton. I see you've got the right number. 1895 was indeed the year New Holland was founded in a small machine shop in New Holland, Pennsylvania. So the reason for mentioning the first is this is our 125th anniversary as a company. So a lot of history there, a lot of great products over the years, and we've got more to talk about today. But before I turn it over to Ken, I would like to cue a video on our T9 with PLM Intelligence launch. So have a brief video on that, and then Ken will get started to talk more about that tractor.
experience a customer will have in the cab and the controls, easy access, it's more intuitive to going through the monitor. You know, we've gone through a number of different generations of electronics as we have moved into this era in the last 20 years. And every year it's become more sophisticated. With that sometimes comes complexity. What I think we see with this product has a very easy user interface. And I think that's the part that'll make this an exciting new product.
A lot of things our customers want is kind of self-intuitive, just simple, touch this, adjust that, and not be kind of clumsy or hard to find things.
PLM feature of this tractor is the connectability of the tractor, the ability to gather data, transfer data.
What excites me about the PLM is when I look at the direction that we're moving, we're moving forward. We're growing. We're meeting the rest of the industry and surpassing that part of the industry in a lot of different areas with the new PLM.
The ability to be able to communicate with a dealer service organization with the connectability of this product.
It really opens up again that connected technology that we have to be able to do that vehicle-to-vehicle sync, to be able to do that remote service tool and really show them not just again what the tractor can do, but what we can do as a dealership for them to limit their downtime.
When you get up in the operator's seat and look at the upfront display, the monitor, the IntelliView 12 monitor that's mounted on the armrest, and your Sidewinder console, and the way you can, everything is right, handy for your, the operator to get to. I think they're just going to go, wow.
When you really get in there, see the 12-inch display, see the new armrest and the buttons and the layout, I think that's going to be the first wow moment for a lot of customers.
How easy does your arm lay on the armrest? Just all them little things that it takes, and I think they've done a very good job.
Great technology, great connectivity. It's the next generation for the next generation of farmer. Everything there that they want, what they want to see, everything at their fingertips.
So we think Jake said it pretty well. The next generation of tractor for the next generation of farmers, and we know that is happening right now. So let's turn it over to Ken. Ken, they're all yours to talk a little bit more about the T9 with PLM Intelligence.
Hey, Mark, can you hear me?
I can hear you. You're good.
Awesome. Thank you, Mark, and thank you everyone for joining the call today. We are excited to choose the aginmotion trade show to hold our public launch of the new four-wheel drive T9 series with PLM Intelligence. Canada is an important market for New Holland with this product, and it's why we're unveiling the new T9 with PLM Intelligence here this week. Now, you kind of heard Mark, and you saw in the video, we are referencing this new series of tractors with PLM Intelligence. And you might be wondering, if you haven't noticed already, what is that? What does that stand for? Simply put, it stands for the Precision Land Management, and it's the latest technology in precision farming from New Holland that we have built in to the new series of tractors that we've got coming out. So with that said, I do want to share my screen and run through a presentation with you. So again, my name is Ken. Feel free after the presentation to ask any questions, or we can wait till the very end if you have any questions as well. And first, I'd like to kind of just level set with kind of the lineup, the offering that we've got with the T9 series. So everything that you're familiar with today, as far as the offering, is consistent moving forward. So the 370 horse all the way to the 620 horse is what we have today, and moving forward. Every single model in the lineup comes in the Power Shift Ultra Command transmission, in the first 5 models, you'll see that we've got the auto command CVT transmission available. All units obviously come in a wheeled version configuration. The top 5 models from the T9 530 to the T9 700 are available in our track version. And then finally, the top 3 models are available in our scraper model. So with that said, as you saw in the video, our new T9 series showcases the best of New Holland's comfort, customization, visible enhancements that we've made, really the operation and how intuitive it is. And finally, probably the most important thing that really ties everything together for us, for you, and to move your operation into that next phase, that next generation of efficiency, is the advanced support and the advanced technology that we've built into the T9 series with PLM Intelligence. So you kind of noticed we had in the second half of the video several of our dealers that were interviewed during a training event that we launched with everyone. It's important to us with this new technology that our dealers are 110% trained, up to date, knowledgeable on this product. So when they talk to you, when they talk about your operation, they can help be a partner with you. And one of the dealers in that interview made the comment that's at the bottom of this slide right here. It is the next generation of tractors for the next generation of farmers. So we are very, very excited to launch this product. It will be available in dealers coming next month. It will take obviously several months, 3-4 months to get availability to all of the dealers out there, but you could be seeing this new product as early as next month. So with that said, what I want to do for the next probably 15 minutes or so is really kind of take a high level on each one of the 5 circles that you see here on the slide. So the first thing is the customization that we have built into this tractor. This tractor is over 5 years in the making. It's a labor of love, if you will, with customer clinics that we've had globally, and just trying to find out, where our customers are at today, how they use both the tractor and the technology today, and where they believe they want to go tomorrow. One of the big things that we saw was, obviously not every customer operates the tractor the same way. A manufacturer could come out and say, well, I'm putting the lever, I'm putting buttons, I'm putting controls here, but it may not be simple or intuitive for customers to operate their tractor that way. So one of the big things that we did with this tractor is really implement some customization that you can program or reprogram into the tractor to make it work the way that you want to, right? I mean, I make it sound pretty simple, and it is, right? Really the 2 big things that I want to point out on this slide are the rear remotes. We have customers out there that, for example, the functionality of this inner lever or inner paddle rear remote has some function that they want close to them. If you're a fleet guy and you've got multiple operators coming into the tractor, maybe they operate the rear remotes or the hydraulics a little bit different, and maybe they want that control on the outer level. In the past, customers or operators would have to get out of the tractor, switch hoses to make that happen. Not anymore, because moving forward with this new T9 is you can go into the display, and this is just a photo, if you will, of the display, how a customer or an operator could go in and reconfigure the remotes to reassign the different levers to perform different functions within that bank of controls, right? The other thing is that in the entire armrest itself, we have up to 11 configurable buttons. So you can see a lot of different buttons on the multi-function handle throughout the armrest itself. Here's a couple here, there's a couple back on the side of the armrest, some on the multi-function handle, some right here next to the operator. They're all numbered 1 through 11. And this is basically where a customer can go in there and reconfigure these buttons to perform different functions, different settings, if you will. Matter of fact, as you see down here, with these 11 different configurable buttons, up to 100 different settings could be set to the operator's preference. So again, a lot of customization that goes into to the armrest. Speaking of customization, one of the things that we did this year is the configurable work lights. So that is right here in the center panel. There's 1 and 2 buttons right here that you can pre-program lights to come on and off with a single push of a button. So for example, if you're coming up along a combine early in the morning, late at night, for example, and you've got, I'm going to look at the display photo right here. On the right-hand side, if you're coming up on that combine and you want to shut the bank of lights off here on the right-hand side, you can quickly and easily, select or program one of those memory buttons to shut off with just one click of that button, so you're not blinding that operator. The last thing I want to talk about with the customization is the IntelliView 12 display itself. It's Android based. It's very similar to your smartphone, right? So it might be hard to see on the slide here, but you'll see some plus signs here to the left. You'll see another plus sign here in the main portion of the display. If you select or touch that section of the display, it will actually give you options to choose what you want to see on that screen, whether it's precision farming information, whether it's tractor information. Likewise, and again, it might be a little bit hard to see, but these gray little dots that you see here on the display, those are actually icons for trash cans. So in this mode of customization, you can click that trash can, and again, just like your phone, you can discard it, get rid of it off the display, and replace it with something else that you want to see on that display. Okay. Going to the next item is the overall simplicity that we've built into the armrest. Here to the far right-hand side, if you're not currently a New Holland customer, it may be kind of hard to understand this, but looking at this armrest, we have greatly simplified the layout and the operation for the operator. Actually, over about 20% of the buttons that we had on the previous armrest have been removed. They haven't been totally forgotten. But 20% of the buttons that we've had that control different functionalities for the tractor, we took off the armrest, actually put into the IntelliView 12 display, but have made the layout of the Sidewinder armrest, the multi-function handle, a lot quicker, easier for you to get to what you need to right away. Speaking of the multi-function handle right here, you can kind of see we have redesigned that. It's a lot easier to grip, a lot more ergonomic for you to operate during those long days. The functionality, with the exception of adding a customizable button here on the multi-function handle, the rest of the information on here or functionality of that arm has stayed the same. One of the other things I really want to talk about before going to the next slide is this information here. It's really what we call our main tractor function area. So this panel is located right here next to the operator. Basically, all of this bank of information are one-step hotkeys to get to the IntelliView 12 display information, whether it's hydraulic remotes, your 3-point hitch, engine controls, whatever it might be. basically between the multifunction handle and the main tractor function panel, 80% of the items that you're going to do or the operator is going to do throughout the day are located here. No more reaching and getting fatigued throughout the day. We put everything very close to the operator. Continue with simplicity and the IntelliView 12 display. As you can tell from the video, as you can tell from the slide here, it is more automotive style than what we've had in the past. It is both touch screen, or it could be operated with an encoder wheel. I'm going to take a slide back, or take a step back here. So on the armrest in this upper right-hand corner is what we call, or it's a little encoder wheel, right? So it spins around. You can push it down. If you push it down, this bank of information, this wheel of information will actually come up, and you can scroll by using that encoder wheel to quickly get to, again, main tractor functions to make adjustments to your settings. So no more do you have to take 2, 3, 4 steps within a display to change a function, to change a setting. You can quickly do it with the new IntelliView 12. Okay. The improvements that we've made on the overall visibility of this product, I think, are phenomenal. One of the things that we did is really improve the lighting package. We've come out with a 360 degree light package that now has a total of 10 lights around the roof panel of the cab. So you'll have 2 in the front, obviously 2 here on the right hand side, 2 on the left hand side, and then there will be a bank of 4 lights on the rear of the cab for improved visibility. The other thing that we did to improve visibility was the overall main tractor display, if you will. Previous models, we've had it inside to the right-hand side of the pillar in the cab. What we did and what we found out the customers wanted was more of the feel of what's in their truck, right? So this display right here is what we call the info view, and it is located right behind the steering wheel here on the instrument cluster. And it basically has all of the main tractor functions that you really want to keep an eye on, right? Whether it's the engine RPMs, ground speed, PTO status, whatever it might be. The final thing on the visibility package and the improvements we made there is, again, just like your truck on the farm, is we're getting so used to these backup cameras, the cameras that we've got, right? Well, now with the T9 PLM Intelligence, both with the deluxe cab and the luxury cab, both a front and a rear view camera are standard on those packages. So the front camera, obviously, to improve any visibility that you may have blocked due to any obstruction of a hood or just a front blade, for example. The upper picture here in the upper right-hand corner is the location of the rear view camera. This will enable you to keep an eye on your rear implement. So no longer do you have to, turn around, pivot the operator's seat to look at the implement. You can simply program and look at your implement with these cameras. And again, this is kind of a picture of the info view with that view of what the camera would look like. You can program this whether it's in the info view or the IntelliView 12 display to come up with the front or the rear camera view. Moving on to the comfort enhancements that we made, probably one of the biggest items that we made was to the HVAC system. We went again to a more automotive style system. It's a 2 blower fan system, pressurized system. What that does, and it's kind of hard to kind of visualize or maybe kind of really partake in what these pictures are really trying to show, but This picture here is kind of the AC version. Obviously, these red marks are kind of arrows, or the where the air is blowing onto the operator. What the two-fan system, the pressurized system, does for us, whether it's in the AC mode or the heater mode, is it will not only cool you down or warm you up faster than the previous version that we've had, but it will keep you cold or hot more consistently. Again, just because we've got twice as many fans and it's pressurized within the cab. Finally, I won't talk into too much detail on the support or technology aspect of what we've got, both with the Cygnus receiver, which is brand new, and the PLM Connect, because I think Luke will talk about that here near the end of our time together. So long story short, we've got a new receiver that is available on our PLM series tractors. It contains all the compensation components within the receiver. What that's going to do for you, long story short, is basically it's going to improve the performance of the signal that you receive. So, that is a huge step forward for us to make sure that you guys have good WAS, RTK plus signal consistently and along the way during your operation. Moving on to probably one of the things that I like to talk about a lot, and I'm not going to do it today, just because we've got two other people we want to that need to talk about. But it's the remote capability that is available to you, to your farm manager, along with your New Holland dealer. There are 3 items that are coming out with the T9 PLM Intelligence. One is the remote display viewing. The second, remote service support that we'll be able to supply. And finally, the remote software updates. So if I go back to the remote display viewing, what this feature does for the operator is they're going to be able to, if they're in the field and they're having an issue with a setting or an adjustment within the cab that they've got to make, and they've got to contact someone for help, right? Up to this point, they had to get on the phone, call that person, try to describe over the phone what they were going through, and then that person likewise would have to describe, how to readjust the settings. Well, with the remote display viewing, with the permission of the operator, whether it's the farm manager or the New Holland dealer, the operator can allow them to tap in and remotely view the IntelliView display information. So they'll be able to, and just like I have this red little dot, they'll be able to go across the screen and say, hey, hit this button, change that setting. This is what you need to do to improve the performance of the tractor, right? So it's an awesome, awesome feature that, again, whether it's your farm manager, whether it's your New Holland dealer, they're there to support you more than ever than before. The second thing is the remote service support. This is for the New Holland dealer working with the operator. Again, in the past, when an operator had a potential issue with the tractor, they'd get on the phone, call up the dealer and say, hey, this is going on. Can you talk me through how to resolve it? Or, can you, I need you to come out and, help me, repair something, right? What this remote service support does for the, more simple maintenance items, again, the dealer can remotely diagnose some of the maintenance issues, some of the service issues that are going on with the tractor, helping out the customer better than what they've done before. And what this really kind of comes down to, in my mind, probably as one of those big examples is, if that dealer had to come out to the field, to the customer, having that remote capability, having that remote service support, that they've got a better advantage of bringing out the right part the first time. So it's going to eliminate those back and forth trips to the dealership, wasting time for them, wasting time for you, because we know we got to keep everyone up and running. Time is money, right? So this is one thing that is going to help our customers out greatly. The last thing I want to talk about is the remote service updates that are available. Again, in the past, when we would do updates to the software for the tractor to enhance any performance, whether it be tractor or precision related, it's either, we had to bring out, or a dealer had to bring out a USB stick, or they would have to, come out with what we call an EST tool and update the software to make sure that you've got the latest and greatest. Again, just like your smartphone device, right? You get notifications on software updates that need to be made there. Same applies to the tractor with new T9 with PLM Intelligence series. We can do all of this software updates remotely now, and again, to keep you up and running. So it's not going to affect you while you're operating the tractor. Everything runs in the background. When you key off and then key back on your tractor, everything gets uploaded. So you're off and going, on with your business. So no interruptions to you. So the last thing I want to share, and all of this technology, whether it's the machine data, the file transfer, the remote capabilities that I just talked about, we feel that partnering with you, our customer, is extremely important and giving you every advantage to be the most efficient that you can with your business. And that is why with the new T9 with PLM Intelligence, 5 years telematics comes standard with all the tractors. So there's no upcharge for any of that machine data, the remote capabilities that I talked about. All of that is included in the first 5 years with that tractor. So with that said, I can either open it up for questions or I can pass it along to Paul.
Well, everyone, remind you, if you do have any questions, please type them into the chat for Ken. You can do that at any time. Also share at this time, we do have our experiencenewholland.com site, a virtual show space, as well as our NH Passport that's available on the Apple Store or Google Play if you'd like more information. But Paul, why don't we head to you to talk about seating equipment?
All right. Thanks, Mark and Kim. Hi, everyone. My name is Paul Cron, and I am the seating marketing manager for New Holland, based out of the old FlexiCoil plant in Saskatoon. Just wanted to bring up the FlexiCoil legacy and how it was known for setting the standard for accurate, reliable seating equipment. And over the past few years, we feel at New Holland, we have gotten back to setting that standard. So I will go over the significant changes we've made to our product offering over the past couple of years. Feel free to use the chat feature, the Q&A feature if you have any questions here at the roundtable. We've launched the P2075 precision hoe drill, double shoot disc drill in 2018. The P2075 was basically redesigned with a whole new row unit. We changed the depth adjust to a one-handed adjustment, cam adjustment with no hardware, no pins or tools. So it takes as long to walk to the row units as it does to change the depth to them. You just pull and turn, and it sets the new depth at 360. Also on the 2075 precision drill, there's new manufacturing steps like machining after weld, along with new steel sintered bushings. And basically this helps the row unit be durable, reliable, and uniform across the entire drill, which makes seating the plant depth and emergence all uniform and coming up at the same time. So the other drill we introduced in 19 was the P2082 double shoot disc drill. It seeds up to 8 miles an hour while maintaining that seed placement accuracy. So great production for the farm to get that seeding completed in that short time frame that you have. The P2082 is a hybrid between a hoe drill and a disc drill. The seed knife shadows the disc to eliminate hair pinning, like you see on typical single shoot disc drills, and it cuts through the residue like disc drills are capable of as well. So both drills were made to place seed and fertilizer where the grower needs them. The fertilizer is placed where the seed roots can get the maximum uptake for early emergence and consistent and uniform plant population. With that, it gives you the best chance for that plant to produce the maximum yield it can. So that's what I have for the drills. Going to the air carts, we're proud to announce we have 2 new FlexiCoil P-Series toe-between carts coming out and 2 new toe-behind models coming out as well. So we have a 725 and 760 bushel toe-between carts available now. Our previous biggest size of toe-between cart was the 580. So that you'll see those coming out in December of this year. The 725 and 760 bushel toe-between carts include a hydraulic jack for quick and easy hookup. No hand crank on those 2 models like you see on the smaller carts. The 2 new toe-behind models are the P3720 and the P3910, which are 3-tank models that are the equivalent to the 760 bushel and 900 bushel sizes, less the auxiliary tank. Felt it was important to offer these sizes to customers that don't utilize that auxiliary tank. Other major improvements for FlexiCoil P-Series air carts, and have been since model year 20, are the auxiliary tank leveler. This feature moves seed or inoculant side to side as needed, ensuring even product emptying. We've also had slide gates for improved cleaning and transitioning between products. Close the side gate, take off your low rate fertilizer, and put in your extended wear fertilizer, high capacity roller, and so forth. We have the agitation option on our poly tanks to help eliminate bridging, scales to improve customer feedback back to the grain cart when you need seed and fertilizer, as well as we've added curve compensation for increased uniformity across the entire field for when you have turns and curves, etc. So I'd like to also plug our air seeder demonstration. Believe that's happening at 5 o'clock today on the aginmotion site. So go check that out. We're demoing the P2082 double shoot disc drill, as well as the P4580 toe between air cart. So go check those out. And with that, I will pass it off to Luke Zerby.
All right, thank you, Paul. I'll give it a second here for hopefully my video will catch up. You guys can actually see that I'm a real boy and talking to you. So first things I want to try to do here is we'll talk about precision farming. And guys, with the launch here, obviously we're very excited about the T9 with PLM Intelligence. And so I do want to spend a little bit of time talking about PLM Intelligence as a whole. I think one of the big things we're getting a lot of questions on right away is, what is the difference between PLM Intelligence versus the New Holland equipment you might see otherwise. And, because we're showing you this new monitor, this new armrest, as Ken went through with the T9, do we have that available on other New Holland equipment today? And the reason I want to bring that up is because as this is a brand new system, We have had it out there with the T8 with launch last year. So in certain parts of the North America, T8 market's not as strong as the T9 market. So you guys may not have seen that, but the system's been out there for a year. It will be coming on other platforms as we move forward. But it's not just simply putting a brand new display in a tractor, and it's not just a new receiver on top of the roof. There's a lot more that goes into that. So we talk about the PLM Intelligence. It's actually the transformation of a tractor that has precision farming on it to a precision farming tractor. Because we've gone through and we've redesigned all the electrical engineering and the wiring that goes through that tractor, so we have more capability. And that's what gives us those really cool features that Ken was talking about, not only the remote display, but certainly a lot of enhanced features for remote service and support, and as well for our remote software file over-the-air transfer updates. The key thing about that I think you guys are probably going to really appreciate up in Western Canada is that when there is new software and new things that come out, this is something that you would like to have, make sure you have before you go to the fields. But as your farms are larger and you're more spread out, it's harder for the dealers to get around to everyone in a very quick and timely fashion. This allows your dealers to service you on a much quicker and faster level and send those software updates out over the air. And actually, this can actually be happening. You could be out working with your tractor and it can download that software update while you're doing something else. Just like as you're operating your tablet or your smartphone today, you can be doing things and it'll download those packets. So if you drop signal, that packet will stop, it'll just have to reload that packet and not the entire software program. Once it has it all downloaded, then it'll go through and do the install. So again, it's taking technology that we're already used to, we're already utilizing in our day-to-day lives, and bring it into our equipment to make it as successful for you as we possibly can. So I think that's one of the really cool things that I wanted to talk about. The other big thing that I want to make sure that we talk about and I share with you guys is talking about the My PLM Connect portal. Now, Ken talked about it a little bit, but one of the things I want to make sure that we address with it here is I show you some slides I have on it. I do apologize. These are slides of the My PLM Connect portal. I'm not actually going to pull it up live just because in case there's any download issues, I want to make sure the pictures were as clear for you as I possibly could make them. So if you see the picture that I have up now, which hopefully you guys, someone can give me some sort of note in the chat there that it's actually coming through for you. This is what we call the farm or the fleet page here. And on this, you can see I have a whole bank of vehicles on the left-hand side. I wanted to make sure I showed this because we've talked a lot about the My PLM Connect portal with its relaunch as of last year, certainly as we talked about the launch of the T8 and now the T9 with PLM Intelligence. So I want you guys to understand that because we're talking about it with those two brand new tractors doesn't mean it's the only thing that feeds onto this. This works with every piece of machinery, regardless of its actual make, as long as it has a proper modem that fits into it. As you can see on the page that I have up here right now, I have a T6 and a forage harvester, both of those utilizing an AM53 modem feeding on here, as well as several of our tractors here with the T9 PLM Intelligence systems operating on it. I also have down at the bottom of the screen a telehandler, so a vehicle we don't even access the CAN bus, but I can still pull machine information onto it here and utilize this. So this is a great, useful tool for you to use as a farm operation, especially if you understand exactly where your equipment is or what's going on. Reason I wanted to start with this slide is because it's one of the things we talked about here, which is very exciting, is that remote display capability. You can utilize remote display from any laptop on one of your pieces of machinery, as Ken talked about. And if you have, through the My New Holland portal, given permission for your dealership to access your stuff, they can also go in. So I would click on the blue button on the right-hand side of the screen that says Remote Display. That would then send a message to the monitor inside the cab that would pop up and says that so-and-so login ID would like to do remote display. The person inside the cab then says yes or no for that. And that's how we get back to that process there. So the dealership is not, there's no chance for New Holland or the dealership for Big Brother. This is all just a matter of so we can better support you. A great example of where you can really utilize that is if you've got multiple machines out there operating in the same piece of land, but something about them is set up differently and you can't quite figure it out. You, from a third-party standpoint, sitting back in the office or pulling up the laptop in your truck, can contact those different machines, open up each one of their screens to look at their settings. So you can see exactly what's going on. You can utilize this to have your best operators, once they figure out the right way to have it set in the field, to really use that to help coach the other operators coming up through in a very quick and clean fashion. So I think there's a lot of possibility for that. And as well as Ken talked about, sometimes you get new software, new updates. You're going to have, maybe you've not used IntelliTurn before in the past and you want to utilize that feature. You know, the dealer can, instead of having to wait an hour for them to drive out to you, if they can get out there right away, you know, if they can log in from their desk at the dealership, or someone tech that's out on the truck can use his laptop and log in, they can see your screen, they can help you those setups in 2 to 3 minutes versus that 1 hour wait time. Everything here that we've tried to do over the past 5 years, as we've looked at redesigning our PLM Precision offering to come out with PLM Intelligence, is how do we make you guys more successful? How can we be a better partner with our customers? And I think we have a lot of really good stuff that feeds into that. Some of the other really cool features you can see on this, you go across, is very easy to set up reports, notifications. So if you have your own maintenance program, you can set it up just to keep track of your hours, make sure you get notified when that's going to happen. One of the biggest things we always try to push is preventative maintenance, especially going into before the season. So it's a good way to kind of set up your own maintenance program, pull reports like that. You can also have some of this set up with your dealership if your dealership does maintenance for you. So you can look at things like that. If you have fault codes or alarms that go on in the machine, something you'd want to check out, you know, you can share that information. The dealer has that remote diagnostic capability. So a really cool feature there. But again, this is something that we can do a lot of these features with every piece of machinery that's in your fleet, not just those that are PLM intelligent. However, those that have the newest advanced My PLM Intelligence, we do have that higher capability of file over the air transfer as well as remote display. So new technology can use more features and functions, but something that I think is very beneficial for your entire operation. And here's an example of another one of the vehicles that I have clicked on here. So as hopefully this slide is loaded for you guys now at this point, but just some of the parameters. So if I want to look at the parameters of a specific vehicle, this happens to be one of the T9s I'm looking at here. I can see all the details here of engine speed and def load. If I was looking at the forage harvester, parameters would be different, specific to that machine. I could then also see what my cut length was and things like that. Things that I'd be nice to know from a management standpoint. I can see what's going on in the field to make sure the machines are operating properly, because I want to have the best job getting that crop in that I possibly can. And as you can see here, I don't know if you guys recognize or not, but Mark did make comment about at the beginning, one of the only OEMs that have grape harvesters. As you can see on this slide, 9080N-2 and 9080N-1. Those are two of my grape harvesters we have on the portal here out in California. So again, everything that we have in our portfolio, we can get to feed in here with some level of detail. If the unit does not have a CAN bus on it, or if you're going to try to want to keep track of your trucks you use on the farm, we could still keep track of those, but we could only simply do its location as well as its hours, because I don't have the CAN bus to pull the parameters off of. But we can do some of that as well for larger operations that want to know exactly where the machines are. So lots of opportunities where we can use this technology to help you manage. And that's really what we're driving for here with the technology, is how can we utilize this to help you make better decisions so that you can be more effective moving forward. And that's where we're partnering with our customers as we continue to develop new enhancements for this portal to make sure it's more useful for you day in and day out. The slide I've pulled up now, this is an image here of an application. So as you can see here, this is a cornfield, and it shows you some of the spring application that was done. I have an automatic legend there. I can see exactly how much I put down, how much I was within my target rates. If you look at the left-hand column, you can see I've got different layers. This is one of the new features that's come out here, some updates we've made since the initial launch to give you more capability. And one of the things I wanted to highlight for you guys is if you look at these different layers, if you see where there's the plus and the minus there where it says application, you can actually change the visibility of that. So if I wanted to see the layers underneath each other, so for example, if I wanted to see my application layer and then I wanted to lay that over top of my harvest layer later on, end of the year, I'm determining how well things worked out. I can see that, you know, where my application, well, my preservative, my nitrogens were exactly where I wanted them to be. That's where I had some of my best yields. Or if I want to see what my soil type was, I can layer those things there, change the opacity so that I can actually see them, and helps give a very quick reference. I also have the ability, if you look at the Hopefully you can see here that little piece of paper sign right there. That's to do a report. I can run a report on my entire operation very quickly and easily. So a lot of features in the My PLM Connect portal that again comes standard 5 years with your T8s, your T9s. It's going to come standard on the combines as well, with factory fit options with many other pieces of machine that we have too. So a lot of capability there to really tie this stuff together to safely and securely utilize your data. So then you can choose who you want to share it with. Again, this is not, we don't have visibility to agronomic data. You know, we do try to, if you give us permission, we'll look at your machine data so we can better support you, but a lot of really cool features about that. This page I have up right now is actually the My New Holland portal. So even if you don't want to utilize My PLM Connect and you guys already have some My New Holland equipment or you're looking into it, I'd suggest go ahead and setting up a My New Holland account. As you can see here, this is one that I've got set up for, we use for our marketing groups. You can go in, you can rename the tractors. So as they come in automatically from My PLM Connect, if they've already started that way, they may show you something like the serial number for the name. Now, if you have multiple units, that may not make a lot of sense. Hard to keep exactly which one is which. So you can name them for whatever works for you. This tractor here, I went in and I named Rigdon 1. This is actually one of our commercial units we'll be using for some large round baler demos that we're going to do out there with the new 5x6 round baler. It's a T7210, and it's George Rigdon, one of our marketing managers in charge of that tractor in that program. So I named it Rigdon 1 because he's also going to have a second tractor, which I've named Rigdon 2. And if George gets mad at me about the name, I can change the name to something else for easily as well. But as you can see here, we have how-to videos here as well. So doing a good job of trying to use technology to bring how to use the IntelliView 12, how to set up your Ultra Command armrest, how to utilize features on your current equipment. Those how-to videos are all going to be there and tying in together. You can also find them on other sources we have out there. Again, PLM tutorials or precision farming tutorials, as well as just videos to better explain some of the features we have. You could go to our New Holland North America YouTube channel to find those, and we'll continue to bring more of those out there. I know I tend to speak pretty quickly and I went pretty fast, but just a lot of really exciting things here that I just kind of wanted to highlight some of the things that the guys had talked about. All of this working together to make sure that the wonderful seeding equipment that Paul Cron talked about, as well as the wonderful tractor that Ken Paul talked about, all work together seamlessly and smoothly to give you the best operation you can. Because New Holland and our 125th anniversary is just trying to come out and reaffirm to you our commitment and partnership and be the sustainability leader in agriculture equipment. So with that, guys, I think I would love to get some questions either on precision or some of the wonderful equipment we've talked to you about.
Thanks, Luke. And it looks like we've got about 4 minutes remaining. So encourage any questions in the chat that you have for the tractor, seeding, and precision experts we have. While you're thinking of some of those, I did want to, I know, Paul, if you're willing to answer a question here, I know you talked a little bit about the easy adjustments that are available now on the seeders. And so wanted to bring up that image for a quick moment and have you talk to that a little bit if you're willing.
Yeah, it's so you see the cam adjustment there for the depth, and it's got I believe 10 letters on there, and each of those are at 3/16 depth increments. And basically you're pulling on that handle, you turn it, and you're done, right? So it's quick, it's very easily, there's a spring there where you just pull and twist, and then you get your depth, and that arm rests on that curved top part there. We are changing our model year 21s. The depth indicator will change from plastic to steel, so you'll see that on our model year 21s. But very different than any other manufacturing out there. These pins, the tools needed. So this will save you time and energy.
Thanks, Paul. I know you mentioned it, so I thought it'd be good to share an image of that as well in case anyone was curious. Any questions out there from the attendees while you have the experts here?
Hey, Mark, one more thing I wanted to just bring up quickly on the IntelliView 12 while we still have everyone on there. So we talked about the tablet-based design, the icons, how easy it is to use. I know Ken touched base on that pretty good. One of the things I'm not sure that we really addressed on, though, that is a really cool feature is that with the mapping in the video, you have the ability to pinch into zoom and actually twist to get the angle that you want to have and to save those angles in your display as far as I want to look at it from the left-hand side, I want to have a 45 degree or a top hand, and you can swap back and forth there. So again, with the new touchscreen display, a lot of capability that's really interesting like that. But another great feature for a lot of guys out there is with that larger 12-inch display, we actually have the capability, as Ken showed you, how you can program and change your layouts. You can do a left versus right or a top versus bottom split screen. So you can actually have your ISOBUS VT universal terminal screen open as well as a map screen. So where traditionally a lot of guys would like to have two displays, with this capability here with the new IntelliView 12, you can actually have everything on one display, but still have it's still wired and capable to run with two displays if you'd rather do that. And also another great feature about this, for those of you who spent some time in the tractor out there in the fields in the sun, you may have noticed the glare that we used to get with the IntelliView 4. And again, with this new optically bonded screen, that tablet-based design does a tremendous reduction in glare. So much nicer to use as you're out there, especially in those sunny days, trying to get a bunch of land worked.
Thanks, Luke. Well, we've got about a minute remaining, so let me simply say thank you for joining us this afternoon to talk about products that are certainly pretty important to Western Canada, be it the four-wheel drive and our long heritage with Flexicoil in New Holland in the seating business, as well as the current trends in precision. So appreciate everyone's time and attention. Would encourage you that if you're interested in getting behind the wheel of a new T9 PLM Intelligence tractor, they'll be arriving to dealers very shortly for you to be able to go take a look, as well as the existing T8 series tractors that are out there with this interface as well that we did not talk about today. So I appreciate everybody's time and wish you a good weekend, a remainder of your weekend, and thanks for taking some time with New Holland here today.